By heaven, I'll know thy thoughts.
You cannot, if my heart were in your hand, nor shall not, whilst 'tis in my custody.
Ha!
Oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is a green-eyed monster which doth make the meat it feeds on. That cuckold lives in bliss, who, certain of his fate, loves not his wronger, but oh, what damned minutes tells he or he dotes, yet doubts, suspects, yet strongly loves.
Here, Iago is saying that jealousy ends up destroying the person who is jealous. This is the goal of his entire plan, to make Othello jealous and then let him destroy himself. This provides some dramatic irony because the audience knows this, but Othello thinks that Iago is this honest, true friend who is trying to just help him through this difficult situation and look out for him. This is one of the major introductions of jealousy and kickstarts the flood of jealousy that dominates the rest of the play. Previously, only Iago had discussed jealousy in relation to why he was trying to destroy Othello. Othello had passed him over for a promotion, making Iago jealous of Cassio, as well as Iago having suspicions that Othello slept with his wife. And now it's moving out of just Iago's realm and is spreading to all the other characters in the play.
Oh, misery!
Poor and content is rich, and rich enough. But riches, fineless is as poor as winter. To him that e'er fears, he shall be poor. Good God, the souls of all my tribe defend from jealousy.
Why? Why is this? Think'st thou I'd make a life of jealousy? To follow still the changes of the man with fresh suspicions? No. To be once in doubt is once to be resolved. Exchange me for a goat, when I shall turn the business of my soul to such exsufflicate and blown surmises. Matching thy inference, 'tis not to make me jealous, to say my wife is fair, feels well, loves company, is free of speech, sings, plays, and dances well. Where virtue is, these are more virtuous. Nor from mine own weak mats will I draw the smallest fear or doubt of her revolt. For she had eyes and chose me. No, Iago, I'll see before I doubt. When I doubt, prove, and on the proof, there is no more but this. Away at once with love or jealousy.
In this part, Othello is saying that he'll only be jealous if he feels that he has solid reason to be through proof, which relates to failure of the senses, because Othello trusts so much in what he can see and what he can hear as proof that he passes over his intuition and his innate trust in Desdemona because she's his wife and just goes all in on what he perceives. This allows Iago to manipulate Othello by staging situations that make it seem like Desdemona is having an affair when in fact she's not, and also connects to Othello demanding ocular proof from Iago, which really emphasizes how important Othello's senses are to him and how easily he can be led down the garden path by someone who knows how to stage different conversations.
Now I will question Cassio of Bianca, a housewife that, by selling her desires, buys herself bread and clothes. It is a creature that dotes on Cassio, as 'tis the strumpet's plague to beguile many and be beguiled by one. He, when he hears of her, cannot refrain from the excess of laughter. Here he comes. As he shall smile, Othello shall go mad, and his unbookish jealousy must construe poor Cassio's smiles, gestures, and light behavior quite in the wrong.
In this quote, Iago is planning to use Cassio's benign gestures in normal conversation as a way to convince Othello of a false reality, which is that his wife is having an affair with Cassio. Iago is able to do this because Othello has already resigned himself to being easily swayed by what he perceives, and he's let jealousy get the best of him. This is a continuation of the seed planted by Iago in Act 3 and allows Othello to bring about his own downfall by the end of Act 5.
How do you now, Lieutenant?
The worse are that you give me the addition whose want even kills me.
Ply Desdemona well, and you are sure on it. Now, if this suit lay in Bianca's power, how quickly should you speed?
Alas, poor caitiff. Look how he laughs already.
I never knew a woman love man so.
Alas, poor rogue, I think of faith she loves me. Now he denies it faintly and laughs it out.
Do you hear, Cassio?
Now he importunes him to tell it o'er. Go, well said, well said.
She gives it out that you shall marry her. Do you intend it?
Do you triumph from it? Do you triumph? I marry her. What? A customer. I prithee, bear some charity to my wit. Do not think it so unwholesome. So. They laugh that wins.
Faith, the cry goes that you marry her.
Prithee, say true.
I am a very villain else.
Have you scored me well? This is the monkey's own giving out. She is persuaded I will marry her out of her own love and flattery, not out of my promise. Iago beckons me. Now he begins the story. She was here even now. She haunts me in every place. I was the other day talking on the sea bank with certain Venetians, and thither comes the bauble. By this hand she falls thus about my neck, crying, "Oh dear Cassio," as it were. His gesture imports it. She hangs and lolls, and weeps upon me, so shakes me and pulls me. Now he tells how she plucked him to my chamber. Oh, I see that note of yours, but not that dog I shall throw it to.
While eavesdropping, Othello is making the assumption that Cassio has just admitted to taking Desdemona into the bedroom, when it was never stated outright. This shows that not only can Iago feed Othello lies to build a false reality, but Othello creates that false reality himself with his assumptions. His willingness to give in to jealousy leads to his hasty decision to accept his assumptions as fact and get rid of Cassio without ever confronting him about the situation.
Well, I must leave her company.
Before me, look where she comes.
'Tis such another fist chew? Marry a perfumed one? What do you mean by this haunting of me?
Let the devil and his dam haunt you. What did you mean by that same handkerchief that you gave me even now? I was a fine fool to take it. I must take out the work, a likely piece of work that you should find it in your chamber and know not who left it there. This is some minx token, and I must take out the work. There, give it to your hobby horse. Whereso you had it, I'll take out no work on it.
How now, my sweet Bianca? How now, how now? By heaven, that should be my handkerchief.
If you'll come to supper tonight, you may. If you will not, come when you are not prepared for.
After her.
Faith, I must. She'll rail in the streets else.
Will you sup there?
Faith, I intend to.
Well, I may chance to see you, for I would very fain speak with you.
Prithee come, will you?